All right, so I need an Atari style joystick. This is from an old Atari 2600 game. I need a joystick that I can use on testing my boards. And this is one that I bought a long time ago in a box of junk. But what happens on these, and is what has happened to this one, is these buttons become dead. So you see that button? Listen carefully. It's not clicking. Okay, when they're good, they sound like this. So this one has three dead ones, the fire button and the left and right or something, and then the down and right or whatever. Those are the only two that would still work worth a damn. These are all just dead. So to repair this, if you had the little metal pieces, you could replace those. They're not soldered on or anything. They're just taped into place. It's like Scotch tape on here. But I don't have them. So what I've done in the past is I'll use little switches like this. I think in the past I've used 3s, 663. The 3 is the height, 3 millimeters, I think. 6 by 6 means it's a 6 by 6 square. If you look at it, it's a square, and that's the size, 6 millimeter by 6 millimeter. The 3s, I believe, is what I've used in the past. I think these will work. I'm going to give them a try. The only question is, will there be enough clearance after I install the joystick part of it? I think there is. So anyway, that's what I'm going to attempt to use, and if it doesn't work, I always take them off and put 3s instead. Anyway, so using these to replace these. Well, how do you do that? Well, like I said, there's a piece of tape here that hold these metal caps, if you will. They're little metal caps. You take that tape off, and the caps come along with the tape, and then you clean it up real good with alcohol, and then you solder these on to where the different traces will connect when you push the switch in. All right, so let me get this off, and I'll be back. Okay, so there's the piece of tape with the little metal pieces that came off. Now, it didn't want to come off very easily, so I used a heat gun. I laid the heat gun on the table, I turned it on low heat, and then I just held this in front of it. And as it was heating it up, it just came off real sweet, just real easy. And so now that I've got this off, I need to clean all the glue off of it from the tape with the alcohol and some paper towels or some cloth. And then that will give me some clean areas that I can now solder to. These traces here are solderable once you get this all cleaned up. And just to point out, like this piece here that goes to all the middle pieces, well, it goes to the middle pieces here and the outside and middle piece there. Okay, that trace there, and it goes over to the fire button. That's your common or your ground, okay, which goes to the black wire on the wires that go out to whatever you're plugging it into. So I'm going to want to connect between ground and each of the different ones with the switches. All right, let me get those switches soldered in, and I'll be back. Okay, so I've got the board nice and clean, got the glue off of it, and I've installed the first switch. So it's soldered on. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your switches. They start off like this, where the legs are down, and you're going to take a pair of pliers, something like this, needle nose, and you're going to flatten them out like that. That's how you want them. Now, once you've done that, for each of these different lace pad locations, you're going to want to maneuver this switch or the switch over and center it over the little circle. You want the button part centered over the circle, and then you're going to twist this around so that the legs line up, so that when you solder it, it will connect the two traces together when you push the button. So that was not centered. You'll center it, and you'll rotate and tack solder down 3 pins. The 4th pin you'll need to remove because that will cause a short. The path that conducts is between the short distance. The long distance, the pins across each other the long way is the same pin, the same node. So if I ohmed out from there to there on that switch, they'd be connected. So when you push the switch, it connects the short path. So you have to think about that when you're installing the switch, the orientation you choose. All right, so let me get the rest of them on there, and I'll be back. All right, so here it is with all the buttons attached. Next and final step before you put the joystick back together is just to check all the buttons are working. So you ignore that. Okay, so what you do is you'll put your one terminal on the black. A little problem holding this. Anyway, I'll see if I can do this with one hand. Basically, you just go across each one like this and push the button. And after you've confirmed that all of them are working as you want, then slap it back together. Let me get that part done now. Well, when I attempt to put this back together, it's too tight of a fit because I did use too tall switches here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a Dremel tool and I'm going to trim down each of these nubs, each of the actuators on these switches, so that it will let me put this together more easily. So don't use 5s, use 3s or less for the switch number. 663 is what I should have used. All right, let me see what I can do with the Dremel tool and I'll be back. So I took a Dremel tool like this, which is a diamond encrusted bar basically, and I just ground them down, you know, quite a bit. So I'm going to see if that'll work now. I'll be back. Okay, I also forgot to mention something. Normally your joystick is assembled like this with this plastic tab in between two things like this. That makes these tall areas, let's see if I can get a better angle. It makes these tall areas that would normally push on the little metal caps that's taped down, would make those line up. We don't want those anymore because we're going to have switches in place. So what you got to do is you got to rotate this around, push this through one-handed. Hold on. Pull this out. I can't do this with the camera. You pull it out like that and then you twist it 90 degrees or 45 degrees. And now the switches will not be impeded by the little tabs that are sticking up. So put this just like that. And now assemble it. Now, one other thing you have to do is this fire button is going to be too tall for the new switch. So you have to clip off that tab in the middle there, shorten it up. So let me do that and I'll be back. Okay, so here's how it's going to look. I just trimmed off about half of that peg. And I just used a pair of nippers like that. And I dug in there and I snipped it out. Okay, so now when I reassemble it, don't forget to put the spring back on. Spring goes on like this. Like that, and then put it into there, the whole button into there, then put this, the holes on this piece line up with the pegs that are here, and then you can slap it together and screw it back. Let me do that and I'll be back. Darn it, I had it all back together and I tried to test the joystick and a couple of them didn't work. It's because this connector here is used up. Tried to compress the pins here to make a connection, but it wasn't working. So I'm going to try replacing this connector, this DB9 male or female connector, with a brand new one, and see if that doesn't fix it for me. I'll be back. All right, I got the joystick all back together. I got the new connector on it, and it is working perfectly now. Here's the old one. It's crap, recycle, throw in the trash, whatever. So now, with the joystick fully assembled, you can feel the micro switches, how they snap. Before, with the old ones, they would snap as well when they were good, but they wear out, they get old, tired. These won't do that for a long time. And then also fire button is also working good. So that's it for this video. That's how you can revive these old joysticks. One thing that might be a problem is that plastic ring that's on the end of the shaft here. A lot of times those break, but when you rotate them, they sometimes give new life because of the way this is constructed. So that's another reason to do this. If you have one of these things and the plastic ring around there has been forced and broke, you know, due to abuse or whatever, then this may actually get you to a usable joystick again. All right, well, that's it. Thanks for watching.